Okay, so we are right in the tunnel of the lunar eclipse in Taurus, on the Taurus-Scorpio axis. Scorpio, this is all about death and resurrection, and it's a very deep and profound sign, but it does get a bad rap, probably because of its intensity. You see, in the modern it's ruled by Pluto, and in the ancient it's ruled by Mars. And this sign is, in some sense, it's all about the psyche, literally. The psyche means soul in the Greek. So I'm reminded of the wonderful Greek word metanoia, which signifies the process of experiencing a psychotic breakdown, hitting rock bottom, if you like. And metanoia is all about rebuilding from the bottom upwards. This is very Scorpio. It's the process of the hero's journey. It is the dark night of the soul. It's from this moment on, a positive moment, a positive psychological healing is achieved, is manifested, and something radically is shifted within the psyche. A new perspective is achieved, and there is a change of heart. Now, what is interesting here is some of the most challenging experiences that we have in our lives. It is those experiences that induce the metanoia. And it is those experiences, that metanoia, that we find our true self, we find our true path. This eclipse is really about that. It's going to be very intense, and this intensity is going to play out for many, many weeks to come. Some people say an eclipse lasts up to 6 months in its intensity. So the old collapse is happening, and simultaneously the new is created. This is the whole concept of Pluto. It's part of the Pluto story. It's death and rebirth at the same time. We're seeing this play out in the mundane chart of the United States. Mundane means world, the global natal chart of the United States, with her experiencing a Pluto return. But we're also experiencing Pluto on an individual basis, because Pluto is squaring the North Node. The North Node is what we collectively need to lean into. It's an Aries. So the great thing about Pluto is not just the death, but it's the rebirth. I can't remember who said it, but small islands of coherence are popping up within stagnant oceans of chaos. I rather like that. This ocean of chaos is actually being transformed as we speak. Even if it looks like it's stagnating further, it's being revitalized, it's being rekindled, it's being reborn. And this is the hallmark of Scorpio. It's a scorpion at the low level. It's the eagle at the mid-level. It's the phoenix rising at the optimum level. The paradigm is shifting before our eyes. We are releasing the old. We're nursing an ancient civilization. We're birthing a new one. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. We're releasing it. We're grief-stricken. We're very grief-stricken. This is the lunar eclipse, releasing the traumatic past. And this is what's happening on the Scorpio-Taurus axis over the next coming weeks. So understanding the real story of humanity is really what it's about, the psyche, our own ontology. Hidden technologies, the suppressed technologies that have been hidden, and the hidden patents that have been kept from us, from humanity for over 100 years. We're going to learn this, and we're going to learn more as the news is revealed. Scorpio is about disclosure. It's from the depths. It's from the depths doth thou emerge. You see, in Scorpio season, the veil is thinnest. It's why the dark occultists like to practice at this time so intensely. The veil is always thin at this time of year. Scorpio, being connected to the psychic realm, is often about crossing over to the other side. It's therefore about portals, it's doorways. This lunar eclipse is going to bring many, many surprises, unexpected events. Uranus, unexpected events, is in Taurus, opposite Scorpio. You can't make this up. Uranus is actually making an opposition to the Sun, to Mars, to Mercury at the moment. Shocks and black swan events are definitely on the cards, and they will be for the coming months, because again, the Scorpio, the season of the lunar eclipse plays out for many months to come. Now take a look, when you're looking at your natal chart, take a look and see where Taurus and Scorpio is, as well as the other fixed signs of Aquarius and Leo. This is the fixed grand cross, as all the fixed signs are being activated. So especially if this eclipse aspects planets in your own chart, you're going to feel the effects of this even more potently than others who won't. And remember that eclipses, they bring peak energies. And with Mars playing in the sandbox, in his home of Scorpio, this is a fully activated month. This is a fully activated eclipse season. This is deep psychological work. It's like a laser beam, I think Pam Gregory described it as. Actually, I think it's more like a hypodermic needle. We're going to use it to take out are we going to use it actually to take out the pus? Or are we going to use it to inject someone with poison? It's your choice, it's my choice, it's our choice, you see. It's stepping into freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Always about freedom. This is what we've forgotten as a species. We're reconnecting to that. The lunar eclipse, you see, it makes a crisscross across the United States with the solar eclipse, the powerful solar eclipse in April 2024. This coincides with the United States Pluto return. This is a big deal, and it's no accident. Nothing is by chance. I'm learning nothing, nothing, nothing. It's all planned. This eclipse is about digging up secrets. It's the underground. It's the criminal. It's revelation. You have to think Pluto, Hades. Whatever Pluto touches, it empowers, it intensifies. It's associated with the principle of elemental power, of depth, intensity, and it's entirely instinctual. It's also, this Pluto-Scorpio thing, this potency is libidinal, it's aggressive, it's destructive, but it's also regenerative, volcanic as well as cathartic. And because it's this whole notion of the cycle of life, the cycle of death into life, of rebirth, hence the biological processes of birth, sex and death. Pluto represents the underworld, you think of Hades, it's all those subterranean things, it's the gestation period. So we're just going to see so much stuff bubbling up from, geological situations of earthquakes to actually, the demons being revealed. What lies beneath the surface, that which is taboo, is being revealed. In mythic terms, it's associated with all myths of descent, of transformation, with the deities of destruction and regeneration. You only have to think of characters like Dionysus or Pan, even Medusa, and of course Isis, Osiris, Shiva, and Kali. So let's talk a little bit about the consequences of the eclipse, because it plays out for up to 6 months. And some of the nuts and bolts I just need to clarify. We do still have Eris conjunct the North Node. That's going to play out for quite a few more months, and it's making a square to Pluto, so it's very activated. The actual eclipse itself is 5 degrees of Taurus, and it occurs at 9:23 p.m. on the 28th of October, that's in Greenwich Mean Time. Now 6 planets are in fixed signs. This is great determination, there's a lot of stubbornness, there's a lot of focus, especially focus around your own belief systems. You have to really think about how one's belief systems are so fixed in the psyche. And sometimes we have to just really stand back from that and realize that we've all been programmed in some capacity to think a certain way. The full moon in Taurus is releasing that which no longer serves us. So where does it fall in your chart? For example, if it's in the first house, you may be changing something about you, your appearance, or how people perceive you. If it's in the 7th, it may be a change in relationships. In the 10th, it could be a change of career, etc. You just need to look at where it's activating in your own chart. Now, with the eclipse in Taurus, we're going to see volatility potentially within the food supply. Taurus rules food, as well as within the monetary system. Venus rules Taurus, and money is a big part of Taurus. Security, safety and security. These are the hallmarks of Taurus, the archetype. And they're all going to come under scrutiny at this time. Now, especially with the Sun, Mercury, Mars conjunction in Scorpio playing out for the next week, it's going to make it very intense. I've already seen people with harsh tongues over the last few days, sharp words. I've experienced people who are pushing towards revenge. You know, you have to calm that Mars down and use it for sacred masculine purposes. The moon is also going to be conjunct Jupiter at this time of the eclipse, which is a magnification of feelings. You know, this is good. It could bring out larger forms of love, expanded consciousness, but it also could lean into sort of rose-tinted glasses and over-optimism. Taurus is linked to our physical body. So it's interesting, isn't it, that Joe Biden has a sun in the moon. He has the sun in moon. Actually, he has the moon in Taurus, which is the body. And he has a stellium of planets in Scorpio, but they're hidden within the 12th house. That is the house of secrets and deception. Sometimes you can't make this stuff up. You know, what you see is not what you get. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You know, the lunar eclipse conjunct his moon makes an opposition to his Mars. You know, the figure that is foe Biden is not long in the offing. I mean, quite frankly, that figure isn't the real Joe Biden, and that's just reading the astrology. So huge changes are coming, huge revelations are coming. You know, for many people, they're still sleepy poos. They're going to be shocked. But for the ones who are awake, yourselves, you hold the line. You know, as the toxic mega farms of Monsanto are exposed and the Rockefeller Rothschild hold on fake pharma and, you know, inverted corrupt medicine is coughed up to the public, the lunar eclipse in Taurus is in a sense going to really bring this out. It's the great realization. This is the awakening. It denotes taking power back to we the people. This is the whole Pluto return of the United States. No more criminal syndicate, no more corporations, we the people in charge. That's the whole point of the United States against Europe, you see. It's the realization of that usurpation of sovereignty. And this is the Great Awakening. And we're going to see it especially play out, which is exciting, April, May next year, when you have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. This is very, very big. And I get goosebumps every time I look at that angle in April, May next year. So don't allow the energies to take you over. These are intense times, yes. We have to meditate. We have to stay grounded. We have to connect to nature. I have nature behind me today. Isn't that beautiful? Taurus is nature. So we aim for the higher timeline, the more integrated expression of this beautiful archetype. So, in sum, this week I'm going to use a Sanskrit mantra. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokah Samastah Sukhino Bhavantu. This translates as, may all beings everywhere be happy, healthy and free. It's an invocation for the personal and the collective peace. It's so powerful and beneficial in these changing times, I thought this would be most appropriate. God bless and Godspeed.